presenting Youth to Business Forum to everybody here today is that we create the missing link between people who are accomplished like them and people who are aspiring to be accomplished like us. So what we intend to do is make it a little personal so that you get to understand their side of the story, their success stories. So we will be open to questions. So in case you do have any questions, we will appreciate if you could raise your hands and we will pass the mic around and you can ask your question to Mr. Suhas. However, it is his decision whether to answer the question or not. So if he is unwilling to answer it, it might be overruled. All right? So I will start off with your first question. Sir, it's really amazing to know that you became CEO at the age of 14 when I was probably watching cartoons or growing up to be a young woman and I was confused about what I want to do. I think it takes a lot of ambition, inspiration, passion and commitment to get there at the age of 14. So if you were to pick one defining moment in your life that inspired you to start this company, what was it?
When I started the company, I was from the middle class family where I didn't have a home computer and at the same time my dad used to work for the Indian Armed Forces. So when I started off with, I had a pocket money of like 15 rupees every month and at the same time I used to see all my friends in my school like who had home computers and like every time I had to show off the fact that okay, like we've got home PCs, so we are from a well-off family, so they used to exchange CDs or floppies in front of me and at the same time I used to feel okay, I was an odd man out and at the same time to show off to my friends that I could do something on my own. I thought probably if I cannot have a home computer, at least I would maybe acquire some knowledge on the internet, so I'll be able to show off with my internet skills, telling that okay, I know these websites, so you guys may not have seen this website. So I thought the best thing is to actually visit an internet shop in my neighborhood and to start acquiring the knowledge on the internet. But I have to realize that if I had to visit an internet shop in my neighborhood, it used to cost about 100 rupees every hour to use the internet in associates. It was approximately about just 11 years back. And at the same time, somebody who had a pocket money like 15 rupees every month, I knew that I would not be able to wait for months long to save the pocket money and to visit the internet shop. So I thought the best thing is probably to ask my elder sibling who was already in his engineering. He was 5 years older to me. So I asked him in case if I can accompany him to the internet cafe because in my family we had this rule, that is if you are in your high school the pocket money is like 15 rupees and if you are in your higher education of course pocket money is like 100 rupees or 150 rupees per month. So of course we had these levels in our family. So in his case, he had a pocket money like 150 rupees every month because he was in his engineering. So my dad always used to think that okay, if he's visiting an internet shop, it always must be academic work or his engineering work. I sat next to him in the internet shop. It was the first day when I experienced the internet, and I had my first email address on the internet. I was really excited. So I really wanted to show off. I really wanted to show off my first identity on the internet. So I was in my 9th grade in the school. I went back to the school and started to share to all my friends, telling that okay, so it's my email address and this is my password, so you can send me an email. Because I had this misconception that if anybody needs to send me an email, they should also know my username and the password. So I could say that it was a simple knowledge with what I started off with, and at the same time I knew that I had to show off to my friends and I knew that my family cannot afford a home computer, so I think the best thing is to see if I could be a freelancer who could build websites and I can start saving some money by which I'm able to afford a home computer one day. And in the same whole process, I thought if you're a freelancer, it's not fun because the people are not taking you very seriously. And it is when I felt that it's always fun to be your own boss.
Do you think that the stereotype still exists today, that if you are freelancer or you're self-employed, that you are not respected as much as a person who's done a startup? Do you think the stereotype still exists today?
I mean, it's actually a mixed response. So if you say that, I mean, if you're a freelancer who is like, who's 14-year-old, absolutely you're not taken very seriously. It was exactly the same. It was exactly the same situation in my case because as a freelancer who wanted to build websites for these American firms, I used to send out mailers to all these American enterprises if they wanted to engage my services, And next, interestingly, I had an American firm who sent me an email saying that, okay, I would like to work with you, but I would like to look at your CV. And, and for somebody who is in his high school and who never has seen a CV in his life, I went out to the internet to find how a CV looks like. And I started to fill all the components of the CV, and of course, interestingly, whenever you see a CV format, you find your name and all those details, and after that you start with the academic qualification, and after that comes the skill sets. And like I was really surprised. Like actually, it should be the other way around. You first have to focus on your skill sets, and after that, the academic qualification. And I started to fill my academic qualification saying that I finished my 8th grade in so and so marks, and currently I'm in my 9th grade, and all these are my skill sets. And I started to send the CVs to all the American companies, and I had an American firm who responded back to my CV saying that I don't think you still have a mustache in your life, so actually we feel very insecure to work with school kids, so I'm not in. I lost the flow.
We're talking about the CV and how the US
oh yeah.
was in.
So when this American company responded back saying that I don't think you still have a mustache and we can't work with school kids. So it was exactly the same moment of my life where I thought as far as you're a freelancer, you're always, of course, you may be asked to send your CV, or you may also be underestimated based on your academic qualification, or the other company or the party engaging you would underestimate your skill sets looking at your age. And it was exactly the moment in my life where I thought it's always fun to be my own boss, and I was really inspired by the success path of Mr. Bill Gates, because when he could start his company at his backyard, why not I start my company at this internet shop? So it's exactly the moment where I could say I had a fire in the belly to become an entrepreneur.
If I may comment on what you've been saying so far, I really am amazed at the touch of innocence that you had when you started off, because you said that you wanted to show off and so you started off. I think that innocence to sparked into something bigger, to an inspiration, is really something very inspiring and very fascinating about you. But moving on to another question, if you had to owe your success to somebody, be it your family or your role model or anybody, who would that be?
Of course, it cannot be. I mean, it cannot be a one-liner response. It's not one single person whom I would like to, whom I'm obliged to. But probably to start off, I would say the internet shop owner whom I happened to meet in my school days, because I still remember that is after my visit, or after my first visit to the internet shop, I was so excited and fascinated to visit the internet shop again, but I knew that I didn't have the pocket money, or I could not afford it, because if I have to pay 100 rupees every hour. And at the same time, every day whenever I used to cycle back home, I used to see this internet shop in my neighborhood which was not open from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. So I thought, in my case, my school is over at about noon, so I think the best thing is to speak to the shop owner in case if I can operate his shop when he goes for his lunch, and in exchange I would use the internet for free of cost. So actually one fine evenings I have to meet him, and I suggested him saying that, hey, I see that your internet shop is not open from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. So of course all my friends in my neighborhood who'd want to spend in your internet shop, I started to market the service, and of course in a way that he didn't feel that I was selling, and it was like a barter system. So it was my first deal and the best deal in my life, because the internet shop owner felt that, okay, as well as he has to shut down his shop for the lunch break, so if he is able to allow this young school kid to operate the shop, and in exchange he uses the internet for free of cost, he is able to work well. Yeah.
Going into your career aspects, tell us about the growth story from a single website at the age of 14 to present in over 11 countries today. How has the growth curve been so far, and what were the challenges that you faced?
Okay, when we started the organization, we started as a startup which was focusing on building web solutions, or like offering IT services or web applications. I still remember that as I was about 15 years, and it was the final year of my schooling. I had flunked in the mathematics exam. It happened to be preparatory exam, and I at my headmistress office make a phone call to my mother saying that, okay, I've seen Suhas marks card and it is extremely horrific, so it's high time that you ask him to focus on his academics. So as soon as I entered my house, I had my mother standing at the entrance of my home. So it's like those normal South Indian Orthodox moms standing at the entrance of my entrance at the house, asking you to swear on her head, indicating that like where my mother was indicating, okay, I want you to swear on my head, and I want you to tell that you will not go to the internet shop again because it's affecting your academics. So until the board exams are over, I want you to focus on your academics. And my spontaneous response to my mother was, the world's richest man, Mr. Bill Gates, has not completed his education, so why do you force me to complete mine? And of course immediately my mother, like whom I have to realize that she was also equally smart, actually replied saying that, you know what, Suhas, in fact the zodiac sign of yours and Bill Gates are not the same, so I still want you to focus on your academics. And it is when I realized that as an organization, I mean it's extremely hard for you to scale up as an individual. So it's very important that you need to have a very strong team, and if to form that strong team, it's very important that in fact the foundation of your of the organization is upon a strong team. So it is when we started to recruit the first 5 employees of our organization. I had these applicants who were not willing to accept this offer because they felt that in fact the CEO who is interviewing them on the other side of the phone has an amateurish voice. He's a 15-year-old school kid and who is half of their age, and of course the applicants were not interested to work under somebody who is half of their age. So I could say that it was one of our major hurdles to actually form the best team. I started to indicate to these applicants, telling that, you know what, I'm not expecting you guys to work under me, but I'm looking for opportunity to work with you. So it's a flat hierarchical company, so you do not have to feel that we have a subordinate or a boss. So it's a flat hierarchical organization. So